Good morning. Let's take a look at yesterday and another excellent performance from a newly promoted side. Told you it's far too difficult this early in the season to predict anything. I suppose, depending on the timing of the goal, you could have done an insurance play, but was this a late, smash and grab, 84th minute? So we've got Everton and we've got West Ham sorely lacking up front. We've got two newly promoted sides in Leeds and Sunderland winning their home match. So a really solid performance. I wonder what the stats look like. Where was the problem with Everton? Well, there you go. 21 shots to 7. Only the one shot on target. Don't forget, that's for the whole match. So there is going to be struggle up front, I would suggest. Don't think Jack Grealish is going to be the player to solve that issue, is he? Expected goals 2.14 to 0.8, so a complete one-way traffic from Leeds United. Is this sustainable throughout the season, or is this just the enthusiasm of the opening match of the season? 12 shots inside the box. I like the inside the box stats. It shows you where the pressure is. 12 shots to 5 inside the box. And the goalkeeping stats are great as well at the bottom. If we work our way down, 2 goalkeeping saves to 1. So there was some pressure on the Leeds. Oh, sorry, that's the Everton goalkeeper. There we go. Where's the pressure on the Leeds goalkeeper? Errors leading to a shot. Well, it was a penalty for the goal. So interesting. 2 of the newly promoted sides winning. And that's why Enoch, I don't do research at this stage of the season. I've got nothing to pass on to you, have I? I'm not Psychic Sally or the mighty Russell Grant. Premier League 2, we're expecting overs. 1, 2, 3, 4 of the matches over 2.5 goals, all dependent on the timing of the others, whether they would have got you an over 2.5 goal trade. We'll get into overs once we get into our live streams. Professional Development League, over 2.5 goals yet again. Viscount's League, a tough to call yesterday. SJK, 1.95 favourites. Not that tough to call. And poor old Le Mans, newly promoted, falling down against Montpellier. We've got to, I think it's newly promoted Le Mans. Just got to be careful with these newly promoted sides. They could be vulnerable. TBS Pokal, not really playing it myself, but there are angles in, as one member did mention, Michael, about the short odds equaling goals. But then again, Michael, you get this, don't you? 0-1 win, limping over the line, where you should be expecting 3 or 4 goals. So it's a bit hit and miss, the cup. Oberliga, you're expecting Kongsvinger to win. That's why it was highlighted yesterday. But did Mjøndalen provide us with a 2-goal lead or anything like that? Well, let's have a look. They do get to be competitive now and again, don't they, Mjøndalen? 3-3 there, eminently gettable. We had a 3-3 at the weekend, don't forget. And got the late winner. So that was the main angle. I don't think at any stage Mjøndalen were actually leading. That would have been my main angle. So you had I think it was a 2-2 and a 3-3 to take on there. Looking on to today, and yet again, Enoch, I'm afraid I'm not going to be providing you with any research. Can you imagine me just listing all of these matches in English League One, League Two, and just telling you what's happened with the 3 matches so far? Not going to be a practical use of my time at all. But we have the League One window. We're getting 3 matches under our belts, so that's a good starting point. This is what's called the wide table at soccerstats.com. This just lets you know what's going on home and away. So Stevenage, 3 out of 3 wins so far. Where are they today? They are away at Port Vale. So not necessarily fancy today, Stevenage, but 3 out of 3 wins. Away from home, just the 1 win. Cardiff City have been very good indeed. I've enjoyed watching them. They're away at Wimbledon today. So the top two are both away from home and not necessarily fancied. What I've done for you as well today is this worked really well last time we had these two dodgepot leagues, and they are dodgepot leagues. They're not very good quality at all. I did provide for you. So this is all my AI music. I'm sure you're all really interested in it. I'm trying to find the League One and League Two table. Here we go. So what this will do, and this is ChatGPT. I prefer using Gemini for these reports because ChatGPT can be an absolute pain with football statistics, getting it all wrong. But I'm hoping that they're accurate here. 2 League One, Doncaster, Port Vale and Bradford City. So Port Vale starting the season brightly. Or were they? I was getting mixed up with those top two. Port Vale, notable. Bradford. AFC Wimbledon clinched the promotion spot by winning the playoffs. So these four could be vulnerable in League One. So that's certainly something for me to look at this evening. Doncaster, Port Vale, Bradford and Wimbledon. So there's Wimbledon. There's Doncaster, Port Vale and Bradford. Okay. Could be vulnerable because they are newly promoted to League One. To League Two, 2 teams moved up the National League to League Two, Barnet and Oldham Athletic. So for League Two, we will be looking at Barnet and Oldham Athletic. So Barnet are here, Oldham are here. So as you can see, what I'm trying to do here is just to generate some possible trading angles. I can do that in English League One, League Two by focusing on the odds-on favourites, as I've starred already. One here, and I think Rotherham is postponed, but we'll charge that. And look at how difficult the coupon is. 2.45 the favourite, 2.5 the favourite. The market's giving you clues. If they can't pick a winner, then you're going to have to find another way of doing so. So already I've got some starred matches based on the report and based on the odds on. So let's go back to the report. To League Two. To League One, 3 clubs dropped down from the Championship. Cardiff, Plymouth and Luton Town. We're expecting them to be the better sides, aren't we? Cardiff, Luton and where was it? Cardiff, Luton and Plymouth. Plymouth have been awful so far. So we're going to have a look at Plymouth as well. Are they playing? Plymouth are at home to Leyton Orient, and yet again, the market can't pick them. Not having the greatest time of it, are they? They're not even on that page in the top 17, Plymouth. Struggling, 3 defeats. And don't forget, they were newly relegated. So you'd have expected Plymouth to have found life in this lower tier to their liking, but they've got 3 out of 3 defeats. So something is wrong. Cardiff, 2 wins in 3. That's more like it. That's why I focus on these newly relegated sides, because sides like Cardiff could dominate, but Plymouth really struggling. To League Two, Cambridge, Shrewsbury, Bristol Rovers and Crawley. So they have arrived. Cambridge, Shrewsbury, Bristol Rovers and Crawley. So we go down here. Cambridge, Crawley, Bristol. There's Crawley. Cambridge there. Bristol Rovers there. And Shrewsbury Town. So these could be vulnerable. Shrews are not playing today. So that's my look at English League One, English League Two. Teams that nearly went up and teams that nearly went down as well. Got to be very careful with these because they could ignite this year, couldn't they? Leyton Orient, absolute standout in League One. So close. So they could be even more focused. They're away at Plymouth. They've got a good chance, haven't they, today, but the market's not expecting, well, the market can't read that match. League Two, Walsall narrowly missed out on going up. So are they going to be doubly focused this season? Who are they playing today, Walsall? They are at home to Grimsby in a tough match for the market to predict. 2.35, the favourite. Teams that narrowly avoided relegation as well. They might be looking over their shoulder again this season. Burton Albion in League One. So we're going to star that match this evening, if they're playing. Doesn't look like Burton Albion are playing today. And League Two, Newport County narrowly avoided. And you can see they are at home to Salford. And that could be a goal fest this evening. Salford do have goals in them. So that's how I will attack English League One and English League Two this evening. It's not reliable enough for me to spend the hours doing the research because inevitably you'll come to your conclusions and it will turn into a typical League One, League Two match where opening day of the season we had red-carded teams winning. So that tells you everything you need to know. You've got the previews here, but it's only 3 matches old, so don't get carried away with the previews. So as you can see, there's plenty enough for me to fixate on this evening. And I will do a live stream for members of footballtradingprofits.com. Late night start for me. Poulsen lost at the weekend in the Czech 1 League. I think they did. Last time I looked at them, they were 2 goals down. Again, pre and post-European football for Poulsen. Slight problems at the moment for them. That 2-0 loss to Club Brugge was not expected at all by the market. But again, they've been involved with Rangers, haven't they? Got the Champions League win over Rangers, but on aggregate, just couldn't get enough goals. That's what Rangers did with Panathinaikos. Just score that away goal, knock the stuffing out of them. And then you get the reaction. This is something you're going to have to look out for this season. It's post-Champions League or post-European club competition problems. Could be fatigue or anything, but it does catch up with these sides. So for me already this season, this match today is a must-win for Poulsen. They normally, as you can see, playing the Champions League, they're normally expected to be up there or thereabouts. And to have that loss last match, they're going to have to correct that. So that 5 o'clock start, well worth your attention. African Cup of Nations, well, we've got the big boys out, Senegal. Just was making sure I was recording this and not just talking to myself. Danish First Division, it's a goals league. So if you wanted to play that, 6 o'clock, look out for goals, basically. Esbjerg, I think, newly relegated. Not sure. Have to double check. So we've got our English League One, English League Two. Yes, we have 3 matches under our belt. That's good. I think proper research begins when you've got about 8 or 9 matches under your belt. Then you've got a pattern. But as I say to Enoch, who's one of the watchers of the videos on YouTube, I can't provide you with pre-match research. I hope you understand that now, Enoch. There's nothing to provide you, is there? EFL Cup, Tranmere against Burton. Up to you if you're going to play this. Not interested at all. Professional Development League will see your over 2.5 goals fix, if you fancy that in the afternoon. And we've got the Champions League first legs, so there's nothing to provide you today at all. Red Star Belgrade against Pafos. Pafos did impress against Dynamo Kiev and against the odds as well. So, yes, they're a big gun, Red Star Belgrade, but watch out for a very defensive display from Pafos, who are likely to try and keep this to a 0-0 or at least a 1-goal deficit. And they won't fear Red Star Belgrade. Very defensive, very strong performance against Dynamo Kiev. Ferencvaros against Karabag. Could see both teams score this evening, but I can't gauge it, can I? Since when are Hungarian and Azerbaijani teams going to be meeting each other? How do we gauge their relative strengths? Rangers have been just superb in the Champions League so far. The quality of opponent is increasing, of course, with each round. Club Brugge, I think, got rid of Red Star Belgrade. Not Red Star Belgrade. Red Bull Salzburg in the last match, and that is impressive. So I think Rangers are going to have to be very cautious today. Rangers have tended to, I thought they tended to start Champions League matches first legs at home, but no, not so. Yes, they did against Paulsen. They got the win. Against Panathinaikos, they got the win at home. So you've got a pattern for Rangers at home in the Champions League. First legs, wins to 0. Can they continue that on today? It would be superb if they could. So they are at home again today. Club Brugge. It's an increasing quality of opponent for Rangers. But Rangers have been eyeing 2 goals at least and a win to 0 at home. So we're looking for that potential today. And we just spotted Real Madrid there as well. So it's a decent coupon this evening. And moving on down, Lynn against Egersund. Well, I just watched this in play, basically. I'm not researching the lower tiers anymore. Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid begin their season against Osasuna. Teams like Real Madrid, you do have to look at the transfer market, and you're going to be seeing the checkbook out for the home side. Who's the significant players coming in? Go to Real Madrid here at uk.soccerway.com. Go to transfers and change the date 2024, 2025. You get everyone in. So 10 mil for Alexander Arnold. It's a pretty decent buy, that is. Huijsen from Bournemouth. Don't know much about him. Doesn't sound like a Real Madrid player, does it? Mastachuono. Don't know anything about him. And Carreras from Benfica. They're probably increasing their South American quota for the global market. And out, well, just Rodrigo. So Luka Modric, of course, to AC Milan. Man, would love to see Luka Modric in the Premier League, wouldn't you? Even if he is 85 years old. So not much doing, really, or no marquee players like last season. No absolute world-class or world-famous players coming in. Carreras, Mastuono, don't know much about him, and I don't know what Dean Huijsen was doing at Bournemouth, but the Spanish connection. Real Madrid against Osasuna, you're expecting possibility of a goal before half-time. He took a while to get going last season, did their striker, but he's up and running now. So we'll be watching out for that sumptuous forward line. Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Hendrick, Gonzalo Garcia. So interesting. And we're going to have up and down the wing Alexander Arnold. Let's have a look at any head-to-heads between Real Madrid and Osasuna. Not that it's going to be of any use, but it just gives you an indication. 1.22 gives you an indication already of what we're expecting, doesn't it? H2H comparison here. And a 1-1 last time these two met in February. But at Real Madrid, 4-0 and 4-0 in the last 2 home head-to-heads. That fits in rather nicely with a 1.22 quote, which is like we did with Atletico Bilbao, which I left you that 2-0 at half-time. That could be the possibility if it's 0-0 after 20 minutes. 1-0, 2-0, Real Madrid in the half-time market. I've got you a 34 odds winner with Atletico Bilbao on Sunday. Those of you wise enough to join that 14-day free trial, which, of course, costs you absolutely nothing to join. So it's over there at the 2025 offer. I'm up and about for members this evening on Telegram. Have a great day. I will see you from 6 p.m. for some of the earlier kickoffs. Maybe 5 o'clock for Paulsen, who must win. Looks like I'm in for a bleary-eyed late one this evening. There are plenty of matches of interest in League One, League Two, but it's not a priority. Trading these is a last resort for me, really. We have to have everything lined up because they're just so untrustworthy. You've got red-carded sides winning matches, as I've said. Have a great day, and I'll see you all, members of footballtradingprofits.com, from about 5 p.m.